Poppelreiter here with Hattie Polson, who is the Kansas FFA reporter. And this morning, she's going to talk a little bit about how FFA is navigating COVID this fall and even this past spring. So thanks for joining us this morning, Hattie.
Yeah, of course. So jumping back a little bit to state convention last May, this was the first ever entirely virtual state convention. And while that does seem different, I mean, everything's different right now, it was the first time where every member in Kansas was able to attend state convention, which I think is pretty cool. So we were able to have pre-recorded speakers that we were able to live stream and view from the comfort of our own homes, and as well as electing this next year's officer team, which is also something pretty cool. We're the first officer team that was ever elected through an entire virtual setting.
So you clearly went through that process since you're now the reporter. What was that like?
You know, it was very interesting. We had a lot of pre-recorded components. So I was giving a speech to my computer in my bedroom that was going to be shown to hundreds of members, which is something weird to comprehend at the time. You're just talking to your computer. But we also had to go through an interview process that was conducted via Zoom, and then you're going to have technical difficulties. So I ended up conducting part of my interviews over a phone, which is something that I never thought I would have to do.
Well, you clearly did well, because here you are today.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, you know, I was an FFA member in high school, and I remember all of the excitement about going to convention or going to Green Hand Conference and all the contests. And clearly there's a lot of things going on this fall where those things just may not happen in the same format that they used to. How are you guys sort of, scenario planning for those situations?
You know, there was definitely a moment right after we got elected where we looked at these obstacles and challenges and immediately turned them into opportunities. So we're looking at virtual competition CDs and LDEs. That was something that happened last May, but it's something we want to implement this fall because FFA holds true and we want to continue that normalcy. But as for conferences, we are still conducting them. Actually, this next week, we are going to have the district officer conference, and it will be entirely virtual. So that's something that me and my team are going to look into, having pre-recorded bits that we can send to get people excited because we aren't in person, but also have those meaningful conversations, maybe over Zoom or a FaceTime or an email, but really emphasizing on connectivity with members, even if we can't be face-to-face, but finding ways to stay connected and sort of institute a sense of normalcy during all of these crazy times.
So if you have one word of advice to share with FFA members about how to continue keeping up those leadership skills while we may be remotely, what would some advice be?
I would say to stay involved and to talk. Shoot us an email, shoot us a text. We would love to talk to you. I think it's important during these times that we continue to communicate so that we can keep moving forward. So I guess my one word would be communication. I think that's going to be vital during all these times.
Excellent advice from the Kansas FFA reporter, Hattie Polson. Thanks again for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more.